Hey everyone, good morning, happy Tuesday. I want to come on here quickly and talk to you about something that if you understand this and you learn to implement this will completely change the trajectory of your life. So many people talk about mindset and manifestation, and of course, obviously, mindset is important. But one thing that I consistently see people not actually being able to navigate, and this is the thing that's keeping them repeating patterns. It's not just your mindset when we talk about manifestation. It is also your feelings. And when you want to manifest a new reality, these are the two things that you really need to be focusing on, your mindset and your feeling state. When you understand that you need to rewire your mind to not only think different thoughts, but you also need to train your body to feel differently. There's a reason why there are 3 pillars to my manifestation method. I have a psyche manifestation method. The first pillar is rewire your mind. The second one is regulate your nervous system. And the third one is recode your cellular DNA. Because at the end of the day, manifestation is a very, very holistic thing. And when you understand how to navigate these 3 things, this is when your entire life changes. But I see a lot of people struggling with thinking new thoughts because they aren't actually able to feel differently. So what happens is you say that you want to manifest more money, but then a bill comes in that's unexpected, or you go to spend money and your feelings are actually tied to lack of money. Your feelings are actually tied to fear. And when we talk about positive and negative, everything just has a vibration. If you say that you want to manifest more money, which is a positive vibration, but you're showing up and you are giving off a negative vibration, a lack vibration when it comes into the concept of money, when it comes to circulating money, when it comes to investing money, when it comes to doing anything with money, this is when you're really going to struggle to be able to manifest more money. And this can be used with anything. But what I need you to understand is you need to be able to train yourself to feel differently now. When you go to spend money, you can either spend money in the vibration, in the mindset that, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so grateful for this understanding that this is an energetic exchange that you are doing. So it's not, you're never losing money. You're investing money for electricity. You're investing money for food. You're investing money and you're getting something in return. Now, you can either invest that money with gratitude, with ease, with joy, knowing that you are so grateful for the thing that you're getting. Or you can invest money in a state of fear, panic, and dysregulation, feeling like there's never enough, feeling like you're running out of money, feeling like you are losing money. At the same time, though, these two people are doing 2 different things, or they're doing the exact same thing, but they're feeling and thinking completely differently. And so many people are saying the affirmations, but they aren't training themselves to feel differently while they are affirming a new reality. And your affirmation is not going to stick unless you are feeling differently and you are actually feeling and energetically aligning with the affirmation that you are saying. So if you're saying, I am wealthy and I am financially free, but all you're feeling into is lack and these negative vibrations, your mind isn't listening to what you are saying. It's observing and it's responding to the vibration that you're in. And so many people keep reacting and emotionally reacting to their old reality, which shows that they're showing up like the old version of themselves rather than showing up like the new version of themselves, like the empowered version of themselves, like the wealthiest version of themselves, like the most confident version of themselves, like whatever the feeling is. You have to realize that in all moments, you are thinking something and you are feeling something. Are you thinking empowering thoughts and feeling empowering emotions? If not, my question for you is why? Why are you allowing yourself to feel a way that you don't want to feel? Why are you allowing yourself to tell a story that you don't want to tell? The people that really struggle with manifestations are the ones that struggle to be able to feel, think, and speak greater than their circumstances. And because they aren't able to do this, they keep showing up in the identity of somebody who doesn't get what they desire. And my job as a mentor, as a coach, as a teacher is to help you become the version of yourself who gets everything that they want quickly and easily. And the way that you're going to do this is by training your mind and your body to feel the way that you desire to feel and to think the way that you desire to think right now, not dependent on what's going on outside of you. When you are constantly allowing your emotions to be dictated by what's happening outside of you, this is when you are operating in circumstantial power that says, I'll feel good when this is happening, or I feel good because this is happening. Instead of saying, I'm going to show up in my personal power, and I understand that manifestation is an internal game. So instead of allowing my emotions and my thoughts to be dictated by what's happening outside of me, I am actually going to decide what I want to think, to decide the stories that I want to tell, to decide how I want to feel, to decide the identity I want to be in, and I am going to show up like this no matter what. And this is the question that I always push back to my clients and my students. And it's always like, I get that there's so much manifestation content out there. I get it. But in reality, this question is either going to show you whether you're moving in the right direction or you're moving out of alignment and you're repeating the same old patterns. This morning, so far, it's 11:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. So far this morning, can you tell me that every thought you've thought so far today has been empowering? Can you honestly tell me that every story that you've told about yourself and about reality today has been empowering? Can you honestly tell me that all of the feelings that you've been feeling today have been empowering? And when you do that, I'm sorry, that question just like threw me off. What do you think about changing legal birth year? I'm confused. Please help. Oh, you're the same person that DM'd me. I don't know. I don't understand why you're asking me these questions. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm going to disregard that because that just totally threw me off and it doesn't make any sense. I don't know why you're even asking me that. Bah, here we go again. I love you, Angel. I'm so happy you're here. But here's the thing. If you actually look at what has been happening in your life today so far, not what's happening outside of you. You notice that I didn't say, hey, did you wake up and did you have more money in your bank account? Did you wake up and you had more sales in your business? Did you go to work and did you have no traffic outside of you? I didn't ask you any question about anything outside of you. I asked you, what are the thoughts that you're thinking? What are the stories that you're telling? And what are the emotions that you're feeling? It's always about you. And when you are always looking at who you are being, how you are feeling, the thoughts that you are thinking, the words that you are saying, you aren't getting distracted by the outside world. You're not getting attached to the outside world. You are actually showing up as the version of you who says, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how much money was in my bank account when I woke up today. I don't care how many sales came in last night while I was asleep. I don't care if there was traffic on the road because I'm not allowing the external circumstances to dictate who I am, to dictate how I feel. I woke up today and I said, this is who I'm going to be. These are the thoughts I'm going to think. These are the words that I'm going to say. These are the feelings that I'm going to feel. And it wasn't conditional. It wasn't, I'm going to think these thoughts as long as the money comes in. I'm going to feel this way as long as the sales come in. I am going to stay in this vibration as long as everything goes exactly how I need it to. Baby girl, if you need everything outside of you to go perfectly before you can actually feel, think, and speak empoweringly, we've got a problem. We've got a problem. That is never going to work. It is always about who you are being. And I know that that can be a concept that is like, what does that mean? Who are you being? Who are you being? What are the thoughts that you're thinking? Are they empowering thoughts? Yes or no? If no, what are we doing? What are we doing? You're the only one that's creating your reality. You're the only one that needs to believe. You're the only one that needs to feel differently. You're the only one. And so many people it's like, just don't consider this, is that you're thinking thoughts all day long. You're having this dialogue going through your head all day long. And no one's listening to that besides the universe. Like, I can't hear what you're thinking. No, your coworkers can't hear what you're thinking. Like, people can't hear what you're thinking. So why are you paying attention to everyone else? And why aren't you paying so much attention to yourself so that way you're not going unconscious? So many people go unconscious throughout the day because they allow the circumstances to dictate who they're being. The circumstances to tell them how they get to feel. The circumstances to tell them how they get to think. They're looking at the external world as it has been. They're looking at it as it is. And they are allowing that to shape them. You've got to break out of that conditioning. You've got to break out of that paradigm where you're always reacting and responding to the things outside of you. And instead, you need to be somebody who stays in their personal power, saying, I want to feel, what do you want to feel? Do you want to feel wealthy? Do you want to feel confident? Do you want to feel happy? Do you want to feel joy? What do you want to feel? Are you getting clear on what you want to feel? And then are you allowing yourself to feel it? Because when you're constantly looking at the 3D and you're looking and scanning for evidence, you're not in a state of creation, you're in a state of reaction. And if you stay in a state of reaction, you will keep emotionally reacting to the shit that you don't want. And because you keep emotionally reacting to the shit that you don't want, you'll keep recreating those circumstances. But when you instead say, I'm actually not available to scan my 3D to tell me how I get to feel, to tell me who I get to be. And you are actually going inward and saying, these are the emotions that I want to feel, so I'm going to feel them. These are the thoughts that I want to think, so I'm going to think them. This is the story that I want to tell, so I'm going to tell it. And I am not waiting for, well, I'll tell this story for, the next 3 hours, but if no sales come in my business, I'm going to go back to the old way of being. If no money comes in, then I'm going to go back. If my soulmate person doesn't come in, then I'm going back. If I don't get that job opportunity, I'm going back. No, we're not operating in conditional power anymore. It's not, well, if this happens, then I can feel this way. It's, I'm going to feel this way, period. I'm going to think this way, period. I'm going to be this person, period. And I'm too busy embodying this identity. I am too busy becoming this version of myself. I am having way too much fucking fun feeling the way I want to feel and telling this story and getting really fucking clear on who I want to be, the life I want to have, and trusting that it can come in so quickly and easily if I just stay here. This is what you need to be doing. Like, fuck all of the affirmations, fuck all of the journaling prompts, fuck all of the morning routines. Are you thinking the thoughts that you want to think? Yes or no? Are you feeling the feelings that you want to feel? Yes or no? Are you embodying the identity of the version of yourself that you want to be? Yes or no? And here's the thing that I want to say. If it's no, I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care what your justification is. I don't care what stories you're telling about that, and you shouldn't either. The idea here is we are taking our attention off of the no, off of the disempowerment, off of the lack, off of all of that, and we're saying, wait a minute, and we're course correcting. This is why I always tell you guys that you need to become conscious in reality creation, because when you're conscious, you're shifting. I call it a pause and a pivot. Whenever you notice you're thinking a thought that is disempowering, you're feeling a feeling that's disempowering, you are pausing and pivoting. So I'm in a swivel chair right now. I can keep focusing on the no and the reason why, well, I can't have this because of this and that, and da 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 da, la la la, la la la. But do you see, like, if I just keep going in that direction, then I keep playing here. Nope, we're turning. We're knocking the table over and we're turning, because we're in an old Victorian house and I didn't have them redo the floors because I thought they were beautiful and I didn't realize how uneven they are, but I think it's hilarious. So we're turning. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter what you're telling yourself no. It doesn't matter the stories that you're telling. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you stop going there. What matters is that you say, wait a minute. I turn towards the no. But I actually want it to be yes. So it's always about noticing, where am I at? Where's my mindset at? Where are my feelings at? Where is my identity in alignment right now? Am I showing up like the version of myself who gets everything that they desire quickly and easily? Or am I telling stories of why I can't have it? And if you notice that you're telling a story of why you can't have it, zip it. No, we're not going to go there anymore, because there's always going to be a story. There's always going to be a reason. There's always going to be a belief. But what if we just stop playing there? What if instead we're saying, no, actually, girl, I've heard this damn story so many times I can recite it in my sleep. I'm over it. I'm fucking over it. I'm not going there anymore. I'm going to become the person who gets everything that they want. And that person is focusing on the yes lane. That person is focused on empowerment. That person is focusing on wealth, on whatever it is, but they're focusing on their desires. They're not giving any more time, attention, and energy to the justifications of why they can't have what they want. I'm too busy embodying this identity. Yes, exactly. And this is the thing. that like is such a clear indication to me when people are doing the work or not, because it's like, there will be 1,000,001 distractions, and there'll be 1,000,001 reasons, and there'll be 1,000,001 things for your ego to just like focus on and distract you on, so that way this can't be your reality. And at the same time, you can just focus and shift differently. And when you are too busy working on your thoughts, your feelings, and your identity, you're too busy becoming the version of yourself who lives in your dream life. And that version of yourself that lives in their dream life, they take action differently. They think differently. They feel differently. They speak differently. They are living in a different frequency. And the thing about that is they are waiting for their reality to change to live in that frequency. They're living in that frequency, knowing and trusting that your reality will change when you start playing in a new frequency right now. Playing in a new frequency regardless of what's happening. You can feel wealthy no matter if you have negative money in your bank account. You can feel happy even if something just went wrong. You can feel however you want to feel, and it's not dependent on what's happening outside of you. Emotional intelligence is so important in personal mastery. And mastering you is how you master reality creation. It isn't about how many times you write an affirmation down. It's about, are you intentionally becoming the version of yourself that you desire to be? And that version of yourself doesn't have any time for the justifications as to why they can't have it. That version of yourself doesn't have any time to go into the limiting beliefs and the limiting stories. That version of you doesn't have any time to sit on your couch and hope a manifestation comes to you, because you're too busy becoming the version of yourself who gets it. You're not looking at everyone else and watching everyone else win because you're too busy winning. You have to get so fucking busy creating your dream life that you're unavailable to be the old version of yourself. And hear me when I say this, use discernment here, like a little asterisk. When I say get busy, I don't mean burn out. I don't mean work 18 hours. I mean focus on your thoughts 24-7. Focus on your feelings 24-7. If you are hyper aware of who you're being all day long, the thoughts you're thinking, the words that you're speaking, the actions that you're taking, and the identity that you're in, y'all, that takes a lot of consciousness. That takes a lot of energy. That takes a lot of self-awareness and accountability. The reason why most people won't manifest their desires is because they're not willing to do that. And here's the craziest part is that's the only thing you have to do. That is the only thing you have to do. There are no right and wrong way. You can build a business in any way. You can make money in any way. You can be happy in any way. You can literally live any life that you want to. There's no fucking rules. But are you actually paying attention to who you're being? Are you actually showing up like a new version of yourself? Are you actually thinking the thoughts that align with the reality that you want to be in? Never thinking the thoughts that you don't. Noticing if you do, switching back. Are you the person that is actually paying attention? Are you paying attention to the thoughts that you're thinking? Are you paying attention to the words that are coming out of your mouth? Are you paying attention to the actions or lack of actions that you're taking? Are you paying attention? Or are you all day long thinking about worst case scenario? Are you all day long emotionally reacting to the shit that you don't want? Are you all day long showing up like the same old version of yourself, hoping and praying, but not actually believing that something outside of you is going to change? Because this is the work. The work is, am I actually aware? Am I actually paying attention? Am I actually showing up differently? And you show up differently before your reality changes. You feel differently before your reality changes. You think, you speak, you feel, you identify differently. Your identification holds all of that, and it needs to be independent of your circumstances. Your circumstances can no longer define you, and you need to take some time to define yourself. Who are you deciding to be? I just got like the deepest, cold, full body chill. Somebody needed to hear that. Are you defining yourself? Are you waking up every single day and saying, who am I going to be today? What are the thoughts that I'm going to think today? What is my new truth? This is what I need you to know. It doesn't matter how many years you have been this old version of yourself, how many years you've had this old limiting belief. It matters that you just decide in this moment that you're going to shift. And with that decision, actually shifting, actually showing up differently, actually becoming a new version of yourself. And this is why I always tell you guys, like, you're too busy becoming this new version of yourself to get distracted by the old things. And if you're getting distracted by the 3D, you're not doing the work. That is a clear indication to me that you're not doing the work, baby girl, because the only thing you need to do is pay attention to you. And when you pay attention to who you're being, when you pay attention to the thoughts that you're thinking, when you pay attention to the stories that you're telling, when you pay attention to the frequency that you are embodying all day long, you actually start laughing at the fact that you got so emotionally reactive to things outside of you. Because why? Why would you allow something to make you feel a way that you don't want to feel and then tell a story that you don't want to play into, knowing that that's going to keep recreating, when you could just decide to feel differently? You could just decide to think differently. You could just decide to show up as a new version of yourself and keep showing up differently. And this is how your entire reality will change so quickly, because you're deciding in every moment who you're being. You're not allowing reality to tell you who you get to be. You're deciding who you get to be, and then you're creating reality from this place. And that is operating in personal power. This is why I need you in my life. Oh, I love you, girl. I'm always here for you. Always here for you. Hi, girl. Hey. Amen. Yes. This is the thing, you guys. This is literally like all you need to do. All you need to do is just decide. Did I wake up today and did I decide who I was going to be? Did I intentionally decide the thoughts that I was going to think? Did I intentionally decide the feelings that I was going to feel? And have I been intentionally deciding and consciously deciding all day long? Or am I letting the money in my bank account tell me who I get to be? The amount of sales in my business, who I get to be? The car that I'm driving, who I get to be? The house that I'm living in, who I get to be? Like, are you deciding? Are you deciding and being intentional and being conscious and pausing and pivoting when you notice that you haven't gone there and telling a new story? Like, stop wasting your time with all of these justifications of why you can't have it, and instead become so delusionally convicted on why you get to have it. Because I'm telling you, if you just started telling yourself why you get to have everything that you want and you were unavailable for any story or any belief or any feeling that told you otherwise, you would have such a deep level of awareness and such a level of personal mastery that no one and nothing could get you out of character. You would be too busy fine-tuning this version of yourself, and you would be able to show up as this version of yourself no matter what is happening. And what I want you to know is you're human. You will fall out. There will be things that will take you out. There will be things that have deep-rooted beliefs, stories, and fears around them, past experiences, past traumas. Like, they're there, they exist. We don't spiritually bypass my world, but we do the work so that way we've moved past it, and so that way we can catch ourselves in the moment of when we go there, of when that comes up, and we know how to regulate our nervous system to get back into homeostasis, and then we know how to do the work to think differently, to feel differently. And when you know how to do this, you're good. Like, you're good. No matter what happens, you're good. I can honestly tell you that it doesn't matter what the fuck's going on in my life. I'm good. I'm so good. Like, when other people just get taken out, I'm good. Here's a quick story that I want to tell you, which is just like, I don't know. I just feel like it was like it happened, and it was just like such a perfect moment. So I was manifesting friendship this year. Like, that was like, I wanted to manifest a lot of fun and a lot of friends this summer. Like, I just moved, all the things. And I actually manifested my new best friend. Like, I fucking love this girl so much. We've been adventuring, having so much fun. So 2 days ago, we were on a hike. We went on a 4-mile hike by the river. It was absolutely beautiful. We just had like the most blissful time. We went in the river. We were hanging out. Like, it was literally absolutely perfect. Then we're walking back, and we walk over a bridge, and her name is Lindsay. Lindsay is walking Gaia. I've got Ghost on the leash, and Lindsay has her phone in her hand. And we're walking over this bridge, and all of a sudden I hear clunk, like it was the most like profound clunk, and then boop. And I was like behind her, and I literally start laughing. And I was like, Lindsay, was that your phone? Like, did your phone just fall in the fucking river from this bridge that we are on? Like, we're literally not even 30 seconds away from her car. We just went on a 4-mile walk. We were in the river. Like, did your phone just fucking fall out of your hand, go clunk, and then in slow motion land down the riverbank? Like, it's obviously still so funny to me. And Lindsay's face was just like, you just see her go. And I've been spending so much time with her that, like, my energy is infectious. My beliefs are infectious. Most people, if you dropped your phone off of a bridge and into a river, would fucking flip shit, would freak the fuck out. I need my phone. I can't be without my phone. Oh my God, my phone is gone forever. Oh my God, this is going to be so expensive. Like, la, la, la. All these stories could come up, right? Instead, I just laughed about it. And I was like, did you just drop your phone? And she was like, yeah. And so we both just are laughing about it because we understand, like, she dropped her phone regardless of, like, anything. It happened, right? Like, we can't change what just happened, but the energy that we're in when something happens is actually a self-fulfilling prophecy of how that's going to go for us. So we just laughed about it, and we were like, all right, let's just circle back. Like, let's go put the dogs in the car. Let's come back and let's just figure out how to get the phone. We didn't freak out. We didn't swear. We didn't curse. We didn't get upset. Like, nobody was like, oh my God, my phone. Like, that just wasn't, like, we weren't available for it. And so most people, though, I'm telling you this because honestly, what would your reaction have been if you just dropped your phone off of a bridge and it went into a river? Like, what would your reaction have been? Hey, like, most people would have freaked out, right? And this is what I mean, you guys. Like, shit still happens. It's not like everything is just like bright and sunny, and there's butterflies everywhere when you start learning to manifest. Like, you're still a human going through a 3D experience. Shit happens. But who are you being when shit happens? So we let the dogs in the car and then we walk back. We're still just laughing about it. We give them some water. We're not even rushing. We know that, like, whatever. We're just going to get this phone. Like, it's not going to be a big deal. We walk back, we look down, the phone just happens to have landed perfectly on the bottom. She's got a phone case on her phone. You can see the phone isn't cracked, the screen's not cracked. And even though we're on a bridge, there's like these trees and there's this hill that you can walk down. Most people probably wouldn't, but Lindsay was raised in the country, I was raised in the country. Like, we are completely fine walking through the woods if we need to walk through the woods. So Lindsay goes, I'm just gonna walk down and get it. Lindsay is normally in Crocs. That day she actually wore sneakers. Crocs would have been a little difficult to walk down in. She walked down, even though it looked like it was a 45-degree hill, she walked down and she got her phone. Y'all, like, it was not even 2 minutes before she was up and down. Nothing was wrong with her phone. It just ended up being maybe a 5-minute blip, and we laughed and we laughed and we laughed. And when I tell you, I laughed all day about this because that clunk, I will never get that sound out of my head. You have a choice in every moment of who you're being. Are you gonna be the person that when your phone drops off a bridge, you're gonna freak out, you're gonna cry, you're gonna scream, you're gonna get upset, you're gonna get mad, you're gonna go into worst case scenario, you're gonna make it mean something about you, about your life, about how things go for you? Or are you just gonna fucking laugh at how funny that is and say, whatever, like, we're gonna work through this. We're gonna figure it out. It's not gonna be a big deal. Everything's fine. Like, I'm gonna get my phone. Everything's fine. You have the ability in every moment to decide who you're being, to decide the energy that you're in, to decide the thoughts that you think, to decide the stories that you tell, to decide how you expect things to go for you. But are you doing that? This is the work. It isn't about the amount of affirmations you say in a day. It isn't about how long you do mirror work. It isn't about the 18-step morning routine. It isn't about the journaling. It's about who you are being in every moment. And this is what more people need to master. And so many people are actually avoiding doing this work because they're too busy trying to do a 369 method, because they're too busy listening to yet another podcast or yet another YouTube video or excuse me, or, you know, like reading another book or like whatever the fuck it is. But like, when shit happens, who are you? I am the walking embodiment of this work because I'd be laughing shit happens and I will laugh and I will laugh and I will laugh, because why am I going to let something outside of me tell me how I get to feel? Why am I going to let something outside of me that just happened? Like, I don't have control over what just happened, but I do have control over how that's going to go. And I have control by mastering myself. I feel called out. Good. Like, I literally wanted to tell this story as soon as that happened. I was like, this is so, like, there are so many gems in this story, and I just, like, honestly forgot. So it just happened so perfectly that it came on today. I'd love to hear about how you got to this point of awareness. So that would be a very, very long explanation. So I want to try and, like, give you a concise thing. But if you weren't detached from the 3D, I did give you a little background of my life and of my story. And I'm not one of those creators, coaches, mentors that tells you their life story, like, in this, like, little, like, 150 word, like, bio format where you can repeat it. That drives me fucking nuts. If I can repeat your life story, I'm done listening to you. Like, I'm done. But what I will say is, this has been a journey of me doing this work for 19 years. For 19 years. I've always loved the mind. I've always loved personal development. I literally came from a traumatic background because my soul wanted to learn all of these restrictions, wanted to learn how a spiritual being can feel, like, so trapped in this human experience, so that way I could help others, because I understood the assignment. Like, I understood that my soul came here to be a vessel to help and teach others during this process. And I just have to tell you that there's this squirrel walking on this picket fence right across from me and just, like, navigating it like a fucking pro. And that's a sign of synchronicity in and of itself. You learn to master life by going through it, like, by doing the damn thing. And the way that I've gotten to such deep level of awareness is by committing myself to doing this work, to not doing this to get something, but doing it to become someone, doing it to feel how I want to feel. I have spent so many years of my life studying this. I've spent so many years of my life integrating this. I've spent so many years of my life being able to be the woman that walks through the flame, so that way I can show you how to do it too. They always say that a shaman goes through the darkness to shine the light so that people can follow through. And I feel like I've followed that shamanic journey of life for a very, very long time now. So I'm at this level of awareness because I started doing this work for a really long time and I didn't give up. Like, when shit got crazy, I used it as an opportunity to grow. I used it as an opportunity to expand my awareness. I used it as an opportunity to become somebody else. Every time I'm met with a challenge, I have this excitement within me of, like, oh, what do I get to learn through this? Who do I get to become by going through this? What story do I get to tell on the other side of this? How many people do I get to help because I went through this? Like, this is a level of awareness that I feel like most people probably won't ever get to, just because they genuinely don't want to. Like, some people's journey on this plane in this lifetime isn't to be conscious. Some people actually came here to be unconscious. But my journey was to go from being one of the most unconscious, traumatized humans to being one of the most healed and holy humans, like, that you can be. And I truly believe that anybody can get to this point, but it's just about who are you being in the moment. Like, who you're being when things happen outside of you tells you so much more about you and about your life than anything else. I just recorded a video where I talked about how, like, one of the weirdest trends in the manifestation community that shows me that too many people are still outsourcing their power are those videos that show you, and they always perform well, you guys. This is what I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, we're not where we need to be collectively. The people that are recording this video saying, these are the signs that your manifestation is coming in. These are the signs that your business is going to blow up. These are the signs that smoke and mirrors, y'all. They're blowing smoke and mirrors at you. There are no signs that your manifestation is going to come in. You are the sign. my actual motto for life, and I actually did the t-shirt is now available on my website. I am just waiting for mine to come in to make sure that it fits okay and to like take some videos, but technically you can get the Be the Evidence t-shirt. It's on my site right now if you want to get it, but you've got to be the evidence until you see the evidence. There is no sign that your manifestation is coming in. Who you're being, the thoughts that you're thinking, how you're reacting, how you're responding, that is the sign. Are you able to go through a similar experience and be a completely different human being during that experience? Because that's how you know. That's how you know that you're no longer playing this 3D matrix reality of circumstantial power, and you've tapped into your personal power where you're playing into the quantum realm of possibilities, where you're playing into energetics, because you're not allowing what's happening outside of you to dictate you anymore. You're actually able to have this awareness and this separation, and in this awareness and separation say, okay, well, that just happened, but how do I want this to go? Who do I want to be while this is happening? Who do I want to be? You are manifesting from this moment right now. Who you're being, how you're showing up, the feelings that you're feeling, the stories that you're telling, this is what matters the most. And when you can master you know it, because that means that things are happening and you might be going through the same experiences, but they aren't taking you out. They aren't making you go down worst case scenario. You aren't living in this dysregulated state where there's all of this fear. You have this like ability to not take it so fucking seriously because you're so committed to becoming the best version of yourself that it actually doesn't matter what's happening outside of you. What always matters is how are you showing up in that moment? And this is the place that I just hope so many people can get to. This is why I'm so committed to doing this work. This is why I create so much content. This is why I create so many programs, because I was not always this way. I built this woman. The woman that you see today, I built her. And if you're in AOMU, my manifestation membership or university, you will see me from baby Alexa, who just quit her job at the state and had no fucking idea how she was going to build this business, but she knew that she had studied it for long enough and she had been through enough that she could talk to people. The way that I'm able to explain things, the energy that I'm in now, how I react, how I respond, it's constantly growing and evolving. And that's why I don't teach the same programs over and over again. I record a program at where I'm at with the level of understanding that I'm at that time and space, trusting and knowing that somebody at that level needs that message, needs that version of me. And if you go through there's 26 programs in AOMU right now. If you go through all 26 of those programs, you are going to be going through that process of awareness and developing your consciousness with me. And now you get live teachings and a live program with me every month. So it's like you're meeting me where I'm at. You're meeting me with my current level of understanding and awareness and what I'm currently going through. That doesn't mean that you might necessarily be exactly where I'm at, but it means that I can take you along the journey because I've been there. And that is why I continue to create and I continue to put myself out there and I continue to grow my body of work, because I know that the person that I am today might feel so far away from where you currently are. But if you get into my world and you start taking my programs, you'll see that with Soul Manifestation, the first program that I ever created, you meet baby Alexa, that's like learning Mindset 101, that's learning Manifestation 101, that's learning and integrating these things. Had I been doing shadow work for probably 15 years before I did that? Yeah. Did that help with my level of awareness? Yeah. Was I always obsessed with spirituality and metaphysics and psychology and the brain and all these things? Yeah. But it was just like, because this was my soul's journey and I'm living my life purpose, and I could talk to you like this because I've been doing this damn thing for so damn long. But I just need you to know that wherever you're at, it's totally possible for you to be here too. But these are the things that I would be focusing on if I were you. The thoughts that you're thinking, the stories that you're telling, the feelings that you're in, the way you're showing up. And if you want deeper support with this, get into AOMU. If you want to go all the fucking way, then get into mentorship with me. You'll get access to AOMU and my business membership as well if you join. I feel like I'm in a similar spot and I'm trying to figure out how to help others. I love that. I love that. I love that. And here's the thing that I want you to know. I felt lost and purposeless my entire life. I am a manifesting generator in human design. So like, I'm not actually meant to do one thing and have this linear career path. I'm not a generator because that's what generators are here to master one thing. But I felt like I didn't know what my purpose was, and it really stressed me out for so many years. And then even when I started learning this, it stressed me out of like, how can I put this into something tangible? How can I do this? What I will tell you is you will learn so much more through just taking messy action. So ask yourself, what do you want to help others with? Because there's so many things, right? You could help others with relationships. You could help others with their relationship with themselves. You could help others with their confidence. You could help others with their business. You can help others with their money. Like there's so many ways that you could help people, but what do you feel called to do? What is lighting your soul up? Because the thing is where you start probably isn't going to be where you end up, but the steps that you took to start are going to facilitate the process of you getting to that place where you truly desire to be. So it's not about being able to like figure it all out right now. It's about really connecting with what are you feeling called to do right now, and then taking action today to start following that. Because I always tell you that your desires are energetic breadcrumbs from your highest self. Follow the desires. You might say, well, I really want to help people with confidence. Okay. What way could you do that today? You could record a podcast. You could record a video. You could write content. You could go live. Like there's so many different ways that you can do that, but are you doing it? Because a lot of people will not do the thing and then they'll try and make it perfect, but then the way that they did it, like they don't know that they don't like it until you do it, right? So it's a constant like evolution process, and it doesn't need to be perfect. One thing that I want to remind you is you don't need to be a master to teach or help anyone. You just need to be a few steps further ahead. So where are you, if you don't necessarily know how you want to help people, how have you helped yourself? If you were to look back at you 5 years ago, what have you gone through that helped you to become the version of yourself that you are today? How can you start teaching people what you went through? Like look at yourself as your past self, as your ideal client, and say, well, what was I going through? What have I gone through? What did I overcome? How did I do this? Like, and start looking at different ways. You can coach people, you can create programs, you can create content. Like there's literally unlimited ways that you can help, but it's just about getting really clear on what that looks like for you. I was just feeling low because I reacted to my 3D as my old self. So I want to say, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for having the level of awareness to notice that. You noticed that you emotionally reacted. You noticed that you were feeling low, and you noticed that you were showing up as your old version of yourself. Those are 3 deep levels of self-awareness that most people don't have. So instead of feeling down on yourself and feeling shameful or like whatever the low frequency emotions that are coming up as, I want you to clap for yourself, pat yourself on the back and say, damn, I'm so proud of myself for being able to notice not just one thing, but 3 things. And then say, okay, so what was it that I reacted to? What was I thinking? What was I feeling into? And what was I identified as? And who do I want to be instead? So how do you want to react to situations? How do you want to feel? How do you want to think? What are the stories that you want to tell? What's the identity that you want to have? And how can you just from this moment right now start shifting into that version of yourself? Because you're human. Shit happens. There's always going to be something that takes you out. It's not about the fact that you're not going to get taken out. It's about the fact that you're picking yourself back up. What's that phrase? I'm going to butcher it, but it's like that phrase that a ship docked is safe, but that's not the ship's purpose. Like, so it's like you're going through life. There's waves, there's emotions, there's things, But are you going through? Are you redirecting? Are you noticing? Are you consciously shifting? Or do you keep playing into that frequency? Because if you keep thinking about it and focusing on how you reacted and how you're showing up as your old self and that's going to keep you going that way. But you can just decide that this is a moment that you're shifting, and you can just keep shifting and showing up as the new version of yourself and allowing yourself to show up as that version of yourself and trusting that everything that happens, everything that you react to is just a lesson that you're learning. Every experience and everyone is a lesson and a teacher. If you're always extracting the wisdom and you're always learning, you're always winning. You're always winning. Yes, I am just really integrating this, and you talking about it is confirmation. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. So this was meant to be. You are meant to be here. There are no coincidences. You felt the call, but there was something in you that wasn't like fully there. And now you have somebody saying, go, you're going to be great. You're going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. And sometimes that's all we need. Sometimes we just need somebody in our corner saying, you've got this, keep going. And it's amazing when that person can be you, but it won't always be. And so surround yourself with people that are actually going to thank you. Surround yourself with people that are going to remind you. Surround yourself with, even if it's content, or like hire the mentor, or get into the programs, but like get yourself into spaces where you're being encouraged to go into the unknown. Because if you don't go into the unknown, you're just going to keep repeating the same patterns, and you were born for so much more, especially if you desire to help others. Like, your calling is so much bigger than you. So sometimes you got to put yourself aside and go through it, trusting that there's somebody on the other side that needs your work. All right. Thank you. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I love you guys so much. I'm going to go. This was going to just be like a quick one. And I feel like I've been on here for like an hour, and my lives from Detached to 3D wouldn't save because they were too long. So I'm manifesting that this saves so I can repurpose it on my YouTube channel, but I will post this live on my feed. So if you want to come back to it, if you want to play it, you can come back to it. You can play it. If you want deeper support, get into AOMU, or get into my business membership, or get into get into private mentorship with me, and you'll get access to all of my programs while you do that. You can always shoot me a DM if you have any questions, or you can just go to my website, the link in my bio, and you can join all of the things. I love you guys so much. Have the most amazing day, and I will see you soon. Bye.